days like this.
Do you want me to just start the intro, or do you want to talk first?
No,
Your show, man. It's up to you.
Father God, bless this show, Lord. Bless the knowledge, Lord. Bless the understanding, Lord. In Jesus' name, I pray that you put your hedge of protection around Cassidy, put it around Christopher, put it around all of us, Lord, and let our energy be put out to all those, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Let's start this stuff.
Let's get this puppy.
Good morning, everybody. God bless you. It's GMA Minister K.I., the Anunnaki teacher.
Welcome back from the intro.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? It's your boy, GMA Minister K.I., the Anunnaki teacher. And I'm joined by the one and only, the Lion, Cassidy Lightwing, my producer, Christopher Sierra right there, Ancient Warlord teacher. I'm not sure if Bradley Powers is going to be joining us, but you might have seen him in the intro also. He might join us a little bit later. Today, we're starting off with these cosmic conversations. I got one of the guys that I've been, just blown by some of the things that he tells me about, some of the long conversations that we've had in the past with him and Christopher. I'll go ahead and use first names while we're talking here. Cassidy Lightwing himself is right here, the Lion, if you guys haven't seen him from his show itself. But if you want to say hello, Cassidy, and introduce yourself and all the things that you do, Mr. Lightwing.
Hey, everybody. Well, mostly what I do is make jokes and stink. But on days like this, my hats are a little bit more varied. Basically, I'm an artist. I'm a scientist. As the thingy there says, Lyra Nashtar. And hopefully we'll be talking about that and go into what that actually is, because there's a lot of misconceptions going around the community right now. And it's kind of time for us all to pull our shit together.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. That would be a awesome topic to get off into, because I'm definitely interested in that. Because like I said before, there's a lot of things that were on my mind about that I wanted to ask you about dealing with ascension symptoms, but I'll go off into that. Let Christopher go ahead and introduce yourself, Christopher. I just want to join in with Cassidy's introduction. But go ahead, Chris.
My name is Christopher Shira. I am the producer of the show. I have a nick for knowledge, and I just talk about whatever the topics are, and I usually have pretty good insight on things. I can just pull stuff out of the air when I'm in the right mood, I guess, and the right energy. Things just fall into my lap, and I just get aha moments all over the place. Anyway, I'm 41 years old. I'm from Arizona, southwest corner.
Oh, I never did get a chance to say that. That's awesome. I would say, Chris, if I was to describe yourself, I would say you're an investigator and truth seeker.
Yeah,
From when I've met you from the beginning of some of the groups, you definitely been one that's been seeking for knowledge, and most of
yeah.
us.
I've been Facebook called me an analyst.
Yeah, that's
and,
pretty much true.
and
And
a what is it? A journalist too.
mhm. But yeah, let's kind of begin. And like I was saying, some of the things that I was talking about, that I was talking to Christopher, and I've been kind of messaging Cassidy about, is ascension symptoms. And a lot of us, with this new knowledge is coming about with disclosure and so much other stuff that we're being informed about, that we wasn't informed about before.
Right.
Um, I was told that, with ascension symptoms, it's like the atrophy, like in the Matrix, that it's muscles that haven't been used in the
Right.
brain itself and consciousness. But
Headache.
yeah, and what I wanted to ask you, Cassidy, because we had talked once before, I hate to keep bringing up about it's just some about that red spherical energy that you had told Daisy about before,
Yeah.
and with these ascension symptoms, I'm starting to see blue spots and like yellow spots sometimes, and it's just and you, just go ahead. I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about these ascension symptoms, and do you think they're different levels for people with different understandings?
Oh yeah, very, very, very much so.
Mm.
Ascension sickness symptoms can they have a wide range, but mainly the cause of them is that your body is having to basically it's trying to process more of a neural load than you can handle. So everybody knows about nerves, right? And how electrically like the brain works by sending electric signals along these nervous paths. The problem is that when a person begins to ascend, they're starting to assimilate way more information than they can handle, and the body's not used to it. So you have three major nerve centers. It's not just your brain, right? You also have a nervous system around your heart, which, by the way, for those who saw the intro, uh, part of one of the things that made Char's case so interesting is that the doctor ordered to not remove that nerve cluster. They were going to do extra procedures to not remove that. So even your own government recognizes these things. And then finally, you have one down around your intestines. Now, there's something called the mesentery organ, which most people never
Head
hear.
brain, heart brain, gut brain.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's
Exactly.
Gnosticism right there.
hmm And the scientists have proven that it's true. What they discovered was that the same tissue that keeps your intestines in place, the mesentery tissue, contains one of these neural loads. Now, people like us in the community, metaphysicists and whatnot, we were all like, duh. But for the humans, it was pretty big, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Whoa.
depending on what form of what was that?
I was just imitating most humans. No. Whoa, really?
That's how they all are. Yeah.
Mind blown.
Yeah,
So
it's like it's
depending,
sensory overload to most people. That they just can't believe that some of these things are happening, or believe they really are, going on.
Right.
well, humans have shifted into they have to prove things, and that's a good thing. Keep it in mind. It's just this is one of those areas that kind of falls through the cracks because a lot of these things like light work, Reiki, astral projecting, these are
Right.
things you have to believe before you see,
True.
and
It's really
that's what
funny.
makes it all weird. And that actually, like by scientific standards, that taints the results, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this call for everybody. Get your DNA checked. Find out who has the changes. All right, we have all the data we need right now to prove the DNA crystallization. It's just a matter of getting it to the right people. All right, we have the
Yep.
genetic proof that visitors are here and that we're here to help.
Right. Exactly. And that is one of the main points that I was saying. I've been talking about is that a lot of people are afraid or apprehensive about coming forward with some of the things that are going on with them or with their body or the finds UFOs, even some, like I said, I'm going to I know it's more than just ascension symptoms because, like I said, I know that they've done experiments that now that there's new phenomenon happening on planet Earth. So those
Yeah.
are some of the things that, the next questions I had for you on that astral level, what's going on with the Galactic Federation, because, before Cassidy, I used to think about when you talked about that was like one of those things. I was like, I don't know if now I got more information. You got to fill me in a little more, buddy, because I'm like, you
Told
must
ya.
on some shit. Yeah, you told me, and I didn't really, like you said, belief is the key. Belief is a total key to all of it, because we're not just physical beings. We got a soul, a spirit, and a conscious energy that's just.
Which I have figured out that that all ties in with our genetics too. The conscious and the soul and the spirit is all a genetic thing. You have to ascend or evolve so far before you get granted that soul and spiritual complex. True to my studies that I have, it's crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, true.
I know I can't disagree with that. That's a good way to put it. There are many ways to put it, but that's a good one. I like to think of it. I've never liked the idea that, oh, well, you have the genetics, so you can be like the Sabrina the Teenage Witch thing. Like, I love the show, don't get me wrong, but the idea that you have to have the right genetics to pursue these things, that's always bothered me. Some people have a leg up, like, for example, drawing. Drawing is a perfect, 3D skill.
Right.
Some people have the talent for drawing and painting, but the messed up thing is the people that pursue drawing and painting that don't have the talent are usually the ones that progress farther, because in actuality it's a skill. You may be predisposed to that skill, but it's still something you have to develop.
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody can do this stuff. The only thing required is the sapience, the understanding that you are a person.
The sapient.
Sapience. The sapience, the wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
So,
said cognizant sapiens.
Cosmic sapien. I feel like a cosmic sapien right now, man.
You are.
I'm gonna be a sapien.
You literally are a cosmic sapien right now. Many of the people here are becoming that.
Hey, so I resemble that. Hey,
well, cognizant means conscious.
Right.
So
his name means basically he is conscious of the fact that he is sapient, which is a good thing. So these ascension sickness, depending on what it is you need, where you're expanding, you're going to have different results. So a lot of people get headaches, real bad headaches. There's a reason for that. And I'll go into that into a second. And a lot of people are having heart palpitations. Again, there's a reason. And one of the most dramatic symptoms is this horrible gut pain that's going around and radical dietary changes.
Why are you talking straight to me, man? You hit them all, Cassidy. Go ahead, please.
So in the first case, with the headaches, what's happening is your neurons are creating new pathways. So basically, you're in a situation where the increased electrical impulses are raising the temperature and therefore the pressure on the inside of your head, and this really leads to amazing headaches. Which, if you have any kind of issue like circulatory issue, will bring that right to the surface. That's part of it. That's part of the purpose. A lot of people. So the question of diet on planet Earth has been getting tossed around for a few hundred years. So first thing I'm going to say is I'm not going to crap on vegans. Step number one, I'm not going to crap on vegans. I personally am an obligate carnivore. That cannot be helped. And people say, oh, then raise your vibration. I'm like, aha! Who do you think you're talking to here? But a lot of people are up in arms over this. And the fact is different kinds of foods have different kinds of nutrition. And you need different things to build different things when you're going through this. And in some people's cases, they need to, they'll need to build empathy. And that's where the vegans will say, yes, that's what we're talking about. Well, kind of, because a lot of the vegans and whatnot, they have empathy for animals. They have no empathy for plants. And
Or
it's like
people.
the plants are
So,
just as
so,
conscious as animals, as any botanist will tell you.
so
So
are you saying that the empathy, the emotion included with the food brings better health?
yeah, well, okay. So the emotional and mental vibrations of the food is a big important thing.
Okay.
Most hunters will tell you that's why a clean kill is ideal. You do not want a messy kill. It makes the meat taste completely different.
Yep.
Right.
And a lot of
The
nutritionists.
adrenaline that goes in that goes in the meat.
It makes it gamey, apparently.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons why kosher butchery is such an important thing. I think they're taking advantage of like boosting the price up, but I mean, the earth economy is weird. What can I say?
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks, Bill. Mr. Bill.
shit. Oh no, Mr. Bill.
Oh no. Yeah, we got halal things everywhere down there for a lot of the, Houston is a international hub. We get a lot of this halal meat or, I don't
Right.
even know what halal was. I thought that was a brand or something for a while. I didn't
It is
know.
unpure.
Yeah, I told you, I'm from Kansas City. I didn't see a lot of this until I came to a big city, before, And with that being said, let me just tell you, Cassidy and Christopher, man, if you guys are looking at the clouds, man, I don't know if I showed y'all some of these videos, but man, they can't hide the cloud cloaking with some of these craft. It is ridiculous. I'm like, you see these straight lines under the dark areas moving along with the clouds, and straight lines don't move like triangles. I'm like, come on, man, that's a craft right there. I'm like, all it needs is some combustion and a light.
Donald Ledesma and Terry Lynch have some very, very
Yes,
good
Terry
footage and
Lynch.
whatnot. And
Yeah,
a big shout out to the Alien Strand Disclosure Program.
yeah.
They're working on their third documentary as we speak.
Nice.
Yeah, so they have some really good footage. Unfortunately, I can't add to the conversation here because my eyes have gotten bad enough. I can't see the sky anymore. Like I can
Right.
kind of vaguely see the clouds, but I can't see the stars.
Praying for you on that too, brother, on your health.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my health will be fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right. We got you got other places to go when that body's over with. I already seen it. You got already somewhere else that you're going. I already seen it. Okay, it's not remote viewing, everybody out there. I just have flashes of my friends that and I tried to explain to someone that they was talking about. I was remote viewing without people's permission. It's not remote viewing is a totally different
That's
thing. It's
intrude
impossible.
viewing.
Yeah, but like I said, with my friends, like sitting here, that things just come to my head, like with anyone else.
Yeah.
You talk to someone, you have flashes, but sometimes we learn how to refine them and to make sure that they're for that person. Like I see different things in different lights now because, like I said, with my ascension symptoms, like Cassidy said, they're different for different people because even the things that I study make a difference. Like what he was just saying just kind of hit me there. What you were saying, that the empathy for the food. And now that I understand that the thought processes in everything makes a difference, those frequencies generated that come back. And that was a big hit that you just said, that this kind of makes a difference, making my body feel better actually by just saying that.
That's
Good.
good. That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yes, it was. It was yeah, like I said, that with me, I know, now that I've ascended a little more, I know that belief plays a key role in anything.
Yes,
If
exactly.
yeah, any experimentation, anything that you're doing, if you don't believe in what you're doing, you're going to be making mistakes. The apprehension has to be coming off.
Exactly.
And like you had told me, Cass, a long time ago about the fear, about the pushing fear to the side on certain things and redirecting it into something else. And that changed me a lot. And that's why I said, a few of y'all, I've been wanting to do these shows to just give you guys so many props that you guys have guided me and us, me and Christopher, a long way, through so
Yep.
much. But and I think it's just important that other people understand you guys better because like I said in the beginning,
I
so
agree.
many people, they think it's taboo, or they think, oh my God, they're talking about something that
Are you crazy?
you know. But then when they see, okay, they forget, hey, we got a space force out there that you're not seeing any pictures of. You're not seeing anybody in any of this or any of that. So what else is going on? So we can't be fooled by that.
Yeah. I think people are waking up in general. I mean, after everything that this planet's been through since 2020, I think people are starting to realize that all these little signs and hints that people are throwing up, they're that like the elites are throwing up, they're for real. You know,
Yeah.
like Sam Harris, like he's actually worshiping the devil when
Oh
when
my
he does
God.
those shows. Like that the sacred geometries, they're real. So
Yes,
when
yes,
you talk
very
about
real.
Space Force, oh, well, if you guys want, if you're even slightly interested at home, I want you to check up Space Force and look at the stars that are on the flag,
Hmm.
and then look at the constellations, and then ask yourself, isn't that odd? What are they trying to signal now?
Well, you're gonna have me doing that because I mean, just out of the blue, I was telling somebody just the other day that the constellations were is a map for those that are spacefaring, craft, and the constellations that we see in just our zodiac, it's way more than just that. Everybody
Oh,
thinks
yeah.
that we just got what Aries and Scorpio, and they don't know about Big Bear.
We don't
Orion
know
is a
about Ophiuchus,
yeah, Triangulum, Tree of Life constellation on down.
Beetlejuice.
But yeah.
I think that people are too in love with the old stories. You know, like
Right.
for example, like one of the issues that the community is having that we kind of need to figure out and get over. So people outside the community think, for example, astrology is absolutely ridiculous. Like, how can the positions of the stars affect people on Earth? And the fact is, it doesn't. One of the thing is that I've been trying to get to show people, because you can do the science at home. You know,
Mhm.
it's not that the stars are affecting you guys. Okay, otherwise, if it was the stars making the effects, then the constellations would be exact same the world over, but they're not. The same regions of the sky are the same the world over. So ask yourself, what else utilizes that form of understanding? And for the very first thing that would come to mind is navigation.
Mm.
It's not that astrology, it's not that the stars are affecting humans, it's that the positions of these regions of the sky are like a telltale sign of the energies coming from the planet. Do you see?
Mm.
So,
Right. Because with light energy and radiation and different colored lights give off different type of energies that a
Hmm.
lot of people don't understand. And they was talking about even I had that theory that I keep throwing out there, Cassie. I don't know what you think about it, but I keep saying that it feels like we're being pushed into other dimensions. And it's
Yes.
like how they got the lights and these different things, these drones up there that can cast light on us. We can be fooled. We can be hypnotized.
Hmm.
Or are we being hypnotized? Is the question.
I believe so.
Yeah, I
Uh,
do
if,
too.
I need some help for this particular project. So if anybody out there wants to work on this together, that would be awesome. But I have this theory that if you plot all of the various law changes, riots, et cetera, on a three-dimensional map, what you will find is that the sacred geometries are accurate for a worldwide ritual, which is basically an opening to the quote lower dimensions.
Mm.
And lower does not mean evil.
no.
Okay.
Right,
A lot of
right.
people think
Four
that.
dimensions. Right.
Right. There's a lot of reasons for this, but
So so are you trying to say like when they create like when they orchestrate an event to happen that causes a bunch of like heightened emotions, like in like the 2020 lockdowns when everyone was throwing bricks through downtown structures,
right.
when those are
So
orchestrated in pristine locations
exactly.
on
So
ley line,
right.
right?
Bingo.
Well,
So with that situation, you have the government saying everybody has to stay inside because it's too dangerous unless you're protesting, one of these left-wing things. Then it's safe to go outside, I guess, because COVID's a Democrat. I don't know. Um,
No good.
But if you again, if you look if you seriously plot these things on a three-dimensional map, you'll see what I'm talking about. But again, I have a pretty good imagination, so I need somebody else to help me with that stuff.
That's pretty interesting. If anybody's viewing and watching and is interested in helping map out those, what he's saying, plotting out those map zones, that'd be a great help to the team.
I need a better wizard than me, folks. But that being said, like for example, this is the hardest part. And people are getting so mad at me over this, and I have to say, bring it. Yeah. No, if you want to fight, we can fight. But all this things going on with like the gender and the children. This is mass, like literally mass human sacrifice to Mammon. Or Moloch, depending on how you view it. The geometries are correct.
What's your
The effects are correct.
do you know your Wi-Fi password?
No. I like that.
Yeah.
That is a machete.
INY, lowercase, brain.
What you got going on there?
Bread, BREAD, all lowercase, one word, 200.
Now we all know your Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Cool. This was the moment we were waiting for. No. Light riots linked to global rituals. Yeah, exactly. So you got to ask yourself, like, for example, I'm not trying to get political, but the January 6th, they're calling that a mass riot when literally just like a few months earlier, they had a same riot in the same spot, but it was much more intense. Right.
Hey, that brings up a song reference from the Red Hot Chili Peppers that I had figured out.
Whoa.
You like them?
Love the Chili Peppers, which is weird because I don't like hot sauce.
There's a song called Dark Necessities.
Hey, that sounds like me. Don't call me Dark Necessities.
The beginning of that song says, coming up in the latter day, we've got many moons that are deep in play.
Oh, yes.
That's a clue to some rituals right there, if you ask me.
Sometimes I wonder if whoever writes the Chili Peppers music, for, either if they write it themselves or somebody writes it for them. Like Meatloaf. Love Meatloaf. He did not write his own music, though. That was somebody else.
It's got to have enough ketchup in it.
Right on the top.
Yeah.
But the Chili Peppers, they've been putting sacred geometries and whatnot, album covers in with their song lyrics, and I'm not sure if they know what they're doing or if it's just a gimmick. You never know with Hollywood. Like Dan Aykroyd and Mr. Aykroyd, I really want to interview someday. The reason why Ghostbusters was so good is because Dan Aykroyd knows his metaphysics from the real world metaphysics. So they put, you see. So you never really know who knows their stuff and who truly like absolutely doesn't. Another good example of that is Hellboy. Mike Mignola, the comic creator of Hellboy, went out of his way to make sure that none of his stuff was real. Right? So, like the Urdu Jihad, none of that is real. It's all completely made up because he didn't want to accidentally set off any magics.
Right. Question. Can I get in there? I was talking to someone on that subject, like you just said, magic. See the difference between, magic, magical, real magic, and tricks. And I was talking about how the Old Testament that magical things happen. Magical and real magic is two different things. See, people get caught up on these words and in the translations because real magic it's real. It's just magical to us because our brains doesn't comprehend it anymore.
Right.
Go ahead, please.
So the way that we've been handling that in the metaphysical community for the last several hundred years is it's not like I've been here personally. I was born in Denver in 1978. But so real magic is what they call magic spelled with a K. That's with MAGICK. Now, and now that you guys know that, sitting at home, now you viewers, now that you know that, you're going to start seeing that around because that's one of the phenomenon of consciousness. Once you know something, you'll start seeing it.
Key hit.
The favorite my favorite example of this, the first time my daughter Shar and my other kids, but mostly Shar because she's the one who pointed out to the others. The first time Shar noticed it was in Eliza Schlesinger's stand-up comedy when she was doing this joke about what are you into? Are you into this? Are you into that? Do you do magic with a K? And then she kept on going. She just slipped it right under there so that you don't even notice. And then Shar was like, "Oh, hey, daddy, daddy." You know, it was very, very cool.
Busted. Can't get
Uh-huh.
them busted.
So it's one of those things. Once you learn it, you'll start seeing it. But magic with a K is a matter of raw willpower, whereas like magic is a matter of using ritual to trip off natural phenomenon. Then you have magic, which is spelled the same way, but it's referred to like stage tricks.
Sure.
If I get a vote, we should call that chicanery from now on. Just saying, you know.
Take my thumb off.
But yeah, magic tricks is a whole nother thing. Like sawing the lady in half, like what card is this, is a whole nother thing than actual true magic.
Right.
But I can tell you, and you guys can look this up for yourselves, a lot of true magic users are, by the way, there's a word, by the way, it's called Ishim. It comes from the Hebrew. It means burning soul.
Wow. I just was watching something on that. I love talking to you when they was talking. That's why I was asking about the magic, the sheen. Oh, please describe. Yes.
So so in the Hebrew religion recognizes levels of holy fire. So an Ishim is someone who is a burning soul. They're a human soul who has the fire of divinity under their command, or as gifted to them, depending on which orthodoxy you subscribe to. And these are actually universal concepts. It's just that you have to dig a little bit and understand a bit of cultural context to do so.
Yes.
Like this whole thing, believe it or not, bends into Star Wars, because you were talking about like biblically earlier. Like biblical magic and whatnot. And
Right.
almost every spiritual belief agrees with this, the part that I'm about to say. So if I get a little disorganized, just like smack me in the head. So in the Bible, it talks about sorcery, right? But it also talks about faith magic. And it also talks about things that we know of today, which were taken from the land of Moab, south of Egypt, like magical things. Like these were magical rituals that Moses' wife's family, participated in. So what's the difference? And that varies wildly, because no sorcery, gotcha. The thing is, that's a good thing. What the no sorcery ban, that's good. All of magic boils down to two aspects. Now you're going to get people that try to say, "Oh, I walk the line." No, you don't. Should have get off the pot, rock star. There's basically two ways to look at it. One way is the natural magic way. That would be the Christ consciousness way, the shamanistic way,
Right.
the druidic way, all of these things, which is it's a push and a pull. It's a mixture of surrender and direction.
And the other kind is to take it from people.
Exactly. That's the other thing, is that's using your willpower to dominate the energies of the planet into your path. All of you can bend light. It's part of who you are.
Other people's energy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where you get narcissisms. Oh,
yeah.
Well, nothing worse than a narcissist who knows his magic. Ooh.
Yeah.
But that's why you call us, because but that's a whole other subject. Oh yeah.
Bend light. All of us can bend light. You hit me there. I've thought about redirecting through mirrors, but bending.
Bending light is how the dark ones move around, because they can't move through circles.
That's not quite exactly the kind of what I'm talking about. But technically, the Predator also bends light, and that's how, because light bends around the Predator, and then he goes, and hunts people.
So we're
that's not quite what I mean, though.
Antimatter type bending, or the use of.
All right, so everywhere. Okay, so people tend to think of the world around you as empty, but we all know there's air, right? We all know about gas. We're surrounded by gases and all that good stuff. But we're also surrounded at all times by a cacophony of radiations.
True.
the scientific explanation boils it all down when it comes to quote unquote light bending is, okay, so you understand that you have brain waves, alpha waves, beta waves, delta waves, all that good stuff. The brain waves that you have interact with some of those radiations that we're surrounded by at all times. Okay. So my favorite example, my absolute favorite way to bend is utilizing probability. Probability is actually an energy. It's not like a consequence of actions. What you guys think of as probability is an actual energy which organizes. And then my brain threw up. Organizes causality. Aha!
Causality.
Or it organizes causality. Yeah. Now, humans tend to only see causality in the one direction, but that's. Go ahead.
No, I said, causality or synchronicity?
No, synchronicity is a different thing. Causality, like for example, I'm holding up my little napkin here, right? If I were to sneeze, and achoo! Oh, I dropped my napkin because I sneezed. That's causality. Or, and this is where you get your chaos scientists, and that's a real thing, by the way. That's not some edgy '90s thing. Like chaos science is a real thing.
Yeah.
Or did something about the paper cause me to sneeze? Which direction does causality go? You know, most people can only see linear causality, but nonlinear causality is a very, very real thing. And the pop culture reference goes with this very easily. We've all heard the butterfly effect. Go back in time, step on a butterfly, you know.
Yeah, change the whole outlook of how time is. Yeah. Right.
So chaos science goes into this very, very, very deeply. I'm going to be the first person to say I do not get chaos science.
Like death science?
Well, I understand it because, you know, like I said, well, I need to quit saying that. I always say that for some dumb reason. But, well, in the beginning, like they said, the Egyptian creation story, I'm going to take y'all there. It said that in the dark abyss, it was chaos. Chaos was in the dark abyss. So chaos, even when light came, chaos is still there. Like what you was talking about, you know, the other 90% the brain, okay, that's the brain, but the other 99% the eyes don't see. Like you were talking about bending the light. And this light is we're only looking at 1% of the spectrum. So I believe that the bending of the light and the use of light to make the dimensions change, because Vic Makarov made me understand that how an ant lives in a 2D world, even though this is a 3D world we live in. But now, if there's other dimensional creatures from upper dimensions, they don't have to obey the laws of this 3D world. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Where?
No, you said upper dimensional creatures, so I waved. That's all.
Yeah, I thought you was like that. Okay, but yeah, but with the ant, he was explaining to me, because I didn't get what he was saying. He was like, well, the ant can only see forward and move in that direction and go around, where he doesn't get to see up and down, where he just looking forward. So, you know, at first I kind of wrestled with it, but I kind of grabbed a hold to it. But I'm like, okay, it's still a 3D world. But you know, but in dealing with what you was just saying, back to that, you know, I get to talking a lot, y'all. Sorry out there.
No, it's fine.
But the chaos,
colloquialism is confusing.
Yes, sir. But the chaos, though, and that is one of the key things that I really wanted to once again talk to you about. It's like the chaos just picked up lately. It seems like, you know, me being, you know, a street minister out there, it's like I can feel it. It's like in certain areas, it's like, you know, barometric pressure just gets, and oxygen, like, man, I'm like, God damn, what the hell? Did somebody drop a bomb or something? I mean, have you been in like going toward the store sometimes, like if you're going to the store, something like something don't feel right. It just, like, and then you walk through something like, damn, is that a cobweb and it ain't nothing there. It's just you can feel that there's different type of weird things out there, is what I was trying to make people aware of. because NASA Goddard, they changed their motto where they were observing the coronal holes in the sun to where they changed to now they're observing new phenomenon on planet Earth because of the project that was done. And I wanted to ask you about that project that was done back in the 50s with Aleister Crowley and
Oh, yes, sir. Okay.
yeah, that one.
Thank you.
That
I
is
thought
one
you
of
might
the
have been.
main. I want to
Yeah.
ask you about that since you know more about there above this atmosphere. Hey, I'm Anunnaki here on Earth type conversation and other things, but please tell me what happened. Please.
Well, it all started with Aleister Crowley. Basically, Aleister Crowley discovered LSD. LSD was relatively new at the time, and it had a lot of like psychological properties. So, like, it was being used as a form of medicine at the time, right? And a lot of the metaphysicists said, hey, this is the same as when we do our privation rituals. Let's just do the LSD instead. Unfortunately, okay, so the purpose of doing things the ritual method. Now, I'm not saying you got to. I'm just saying the purpose of doing things the ritual method is that over time it grows your neurons, like we were talking about earlier, so you don't suffer the ascension sickness.
Right.
LSD jumps you. So that what's happening if you use LSD in a ritual fashion, and again, not downing it when you do it right. Like Joe Rogan, big fan of using psychedelics in the proper way. But they didn't understand that back then. So you could say it was ego, but it also could have just been a not understanding of the science. So Crowley and his cronies, they basically got jumped ahead into these levels of psychonaut, I guess, research that they were not prepared for. So the problem is and this is when like any drug that tickles your pineal gland. This can be meth, large amounts of weed, any drug that tickles your pineal gland can put you in this state where your mind and your consciousness are reaching out wildly and changing shit, and you have no control.
True.
None.
It's like a PK manifestation.
Mm-hmm. So what Crowley and his buddies ended up doing, quite by accident, is tearing a hole in the protective barrier of the solar system. Now, a lot of people will say that's the prison planet. No. The barrier never kept humans in, ever. Like ever at all. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't have been able to, like, psychically project to Mars, or actually Mars was within the barrier, but like to Orion, right? All of you guys who've channeled the Milky Way the Milky Way feline beings, that's you pass the barrier, right? The barrier never kept humans in. It is impossible. You cannot control humans. You cannot keep them in. This is a plea to my galactic enemies. Don't fuck around or you're going to find out. All right. But
listen to him. He know what he's talking about, y'all.
You can't control humans. You really can't.
Right.
I mean, look at every tyrant in your own history that's tried. It never works out well for them.
Never did. It's not working out for Trump either, but I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
That's a whole nother thing. So what the barrier did was it kept you guys hidden. 10,000, 11,000 years ago, when the Younger Dryas event happened, the worldwide flood, the Great Flood, the fall of Atlantis, that was all the same event. You guys sort of had a cocooning, I guess. Like you went into a consciousness sleep. Yeah.
Right.
So this intense knowledge of all of the planes and all of the stars was replaced by superstition. Now, that's not a bad thing. The superstition was meant to keep the memory in the generations until such time as the awakening was here.
Right.
Wow.
So that's not even a bad thing.
So why was it explained like it was another Einstein-Rosen bridge, trying to break, that's what I would think that this time frame of people trying to do that same experiment that they did, because it's definite that NASA Goddard is, well, we know about NASA, right? Everybody hears NASA, oh, they're not telling the truth and they lie and whatever. But they wouldn't pay billions of dollars to all these people and have all this, observing these different things and change the model for no reason. and that coronal hole in the sun it's important for a reason, especially when we see spacecraft just gassing up off the sun and taking off somewhere into other dimensions. I think it's time to be, a little more aware, of what's going on where we've been blinded. Yes, sir.
And
Go ahead, please.
And if I may, I apologize if this sounds egoistic, but I mean, quite frankly, the Christian elite world wouldn't have sacrificed so many of them trying to keep us down if there was nothing to silence. You don't even know how many of them have died trying to keep us quiet, and yet they keep sending more. They would not sacrifice this much if there wasn't something to actually silence. And Philip Schneider paid the ultimate price. Many of us have paid the ultimate. Us, as in us, I mean like the whistleblowers of the world. Many of us have paid the ultimate
51, price. Schneider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be killing us if there was nothing to hide.
Thank you, Schneider. Rest in peace, Schneider.
Yeah.
I heard he died. Awesome man. If y'all know what he's talking about, he's the guy that was in Area 51 where I guess the aliens just supposedly had broke out of there. He had his hand, lasered off or something, wasn't it? But then when there was a conference, I think it's in Phoenix where they do this UFA conference, he finally came out and was a whistleblower about what's going on. And a lot of y'all don't know that I forgot what they call them, twilight whistleblowers. Those people that are in the twilight of their age from back in the 50s and back then.
Yeah, they got nothing left to lose.
Nothing left to lose. We gonna tell on you, fuck you.
My wife is wearing a T-shirt right now that says, "I'm at the age where going to prison is no longer a deterrent."
I'll say, just praying for y'all over there. Oh man,
we're okay.
Keep going.
Basically. I had to give my vow the proper amount of time. However, that vow is over with. So run, little ones.
Run. Run, Forrest, run. Okay, I'm sorry.
I had to follow altruism for a long. Basically, what happened was, all right. So when I was born, I was already an adult. I was awakened in the womb, which we go back to Aleister Crowley. So people will often ask me, well, when was your awakening? I didn't have one. I've had several bouts of ascension. Absolutely. There's no one in this universe that's immune to ascension. Right. The quote unquote gods ascend. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so imagine like if you're in your late 40s going to a completely new culture and trying to learn from the ground up. It's hard, Why was I talking about this? I had a really good reason.
We were just talking about the ascension, and then we were talking about Aleister Crowley.
How you were born, well, you never suffered an ascension.
No. I suffer ascension all the time. Everybody suffers ascension. I didn't have an awakening here.
There you go. Yeah.
We all do. As you learn and as you, like I said, your conscious becomes more aware of new things that, it's just breaking cognitive dissonance in more than one way because you're constantly going to be breaking cognitive dissonance.
Right.
Mm-hmm. My first conscious thought on this planet was, oh shit, I still remember I fucked up.
You remember you fucked up.
Well, okay, so part of training to come here as a starseed is basically learning to let go of your past incarnation so you can start fresh. I screwed something up when I got here because but I blame my dad for that. Yeah. Keep in mind, I want everybody to understand my human dad was the best dad you could possibly have in so many ways.
Right.
But when he took his ascension drugs, which I'm pretty sure is a combination of speed and LSD, he would go absolutely crazy.
Right.
So
well, they talk about generational curses happen. And and that would be considered one. Some people don't understand what these Cassie just hit on one right there, that our family members can put generational curses on the bloodlines until someone knows how to take those off.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Okay, so
Great
one of the
conversation.
things that has been a really real treat, and I mean that, I'm not being sarcastic. I mean, in my life has been the children of my father's fellow cult members contacting
Mhm.
me, and like we get to trade notes on how our lives went, and it's been fun. But according to one of his cult members, the part of his purpose in doing what he did to me was so I could break the dang curse, because
Mhm.
his father got our family cursed. There is no doubt about it. Um, okay, so my family, the Dunning family, they
Mhm.
try to do good works. That's what they do. You know what I mean? They do their best. So my human father's father, he decided to try to understand the addicted populace. You know, the drug populace. You understand? They didn't know about addiction at the time. All right. So, in order to better understand the people he was trying to help, he decided that he would have to try this heroin that they're all so obsessed with.
Mhm.
And if you know your heroin, you know one hit is enough. You know,
Never tried it.
Welcome.
thank
But
God.
I
Don't.
heard, I've seen it. Yeah, that's all it takes. It is.
So he
Welcome if
ended
you're
up.
just coming in. We're talking about a plethora of things. Welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy the show.
So when he fell hard, and the family was like, "Well, okay, well let's get him enough heroin, he'll get it out of his system." Which now, of course, we know that's the opposite of how drugs work.
Wow.
So he ended up falling farther and farther and farther, and his last act on this planet was beating an old lady to death for a couple of bucks in her purse.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
he
hard.
got our family
That's
cursed
what's up.
all to hell.
Wow. Wow. That's not a good one. So
No,
God rest his
What's up,
soul.
Michael?
Is there a question, anything for Cassidy or something you see out there? Hey,
uh,
what's good? Hey, Mike.
a lot, Michael. Way more than people think. Things are about to get really good. We got a little more crap to get through, and then things are gonna get good.
Man. So what do you think, Cassidy and Christopher, is a good idea health wise, or I mean not just health of the physical body, because I want people to start understanding there's more type of health that you got to look at. Our mental health is at jeopardy right now, and how you doing, and a lot of different things, starting with you, I guess, Cass, what do you think that people need to guard against or to do more for healthier mental to get prepared for what's going to happen?
That's the trick, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What I this is gonna sound cheesy, but Shakespeare the man, or the
Mhm.
men, if you believe the theory,
Yeah.
um, Shakespeare said it best: "To thine own self be true."
Yep.
That
Exactly.
is, there's never been a time in the last 10,000 years, because we're coming up on it, where
Mhm.
that was more true. You guys are being psyopted by like six different sides, like six different factions are
Mhm.
psyoping you guys at the same time, right? Including your own allies. So you have to hold yourself to accountable for educating yourself. You have to look yourself at the facts, come up with your own conclusions, and
Yep.
if it takes you away from what you want to believe, you have to let that be the case. For
Yeah.
example, in the
Again.
community, people are really enamored with the depopulation um, conspiracy theory,
Agenda. Yeah.
right?
New
And
World Order.
we've been saying for years that's not a real thing. That is a psyop that they're using on the conspiracy community to throw us off.
Mhm.
Well, look at what happened recently. For the first time in human history, the replacement rate is below the birth rate by not by much, by 0.7%. This 0.7% drop has the elites freaking all of the way out.
Shit, that's about 100 million, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Your guys' entire economy is based on there being more children than old people. That's
Right.
step 1 of your entire economy.
True.
And
True.
that's not wrong. You know, the
Right.
elderly brought us into this world. They wiped our little asses. They rubbed our little noses. They taught us how to count. They kept us alive. They kept us from being eaten by saber-toothed tigers. And if you want proof of that, look around. You see any saber-toothed tigers? No. That's my point. So in their age, it is only right for us to care.
Let me look again. No, I don't see no saber-tooth tigers.
So it's only right that we take care of our elders. That is a sign of an advanced, morally advanced society, and that's a very good thing. Even your we're all primates. Even your gorillas and monkeys and chimpanzees understand this. They take care of each other as they get older. Not as good as humans do, But yeah, so the entire economy is based on population growth. Without population growth, their power goes poof.
Yep.
So as a cognitive sapient, you have to look at the facts and then adjust your idea. If the depopulation agenda were true, which granted, there are some elites like Bill Gates who are trying to do that allegedly, but it's not like an overarching plan. That's not the plan of the New World Order. The New World Order, if you actually look at the facts, right, of what would have to happen, it all lines up. The New World Order needs a population of 9 billion to pull off their plan. Now we're almost there. Yeah. Any level of depopulation is important for them because number one, the economy needs it, and number two, they're in a race against time. If the human population finds out what they're really up to before they're done, let's just say humans don't exactly have a reputation for mercy.
Right. Well, they are kind of ruthless, aren't they?
Yeah, humans, and come on, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Every species has their thing, but if y'all find out what they're doing before it's too late for them, like you'll draw and quarter them in the street and like eat them. We've all seen humans get really pissed off. The French Revolution comes to mind.
That's one.
But I mean, when you guys realize what they're doing to your children, there will be a mass uprising. All we Lyrans ask is that do it peaceful. You guys have a great judicial system. Let it work. And then if they escape human justice, then let the Lyrans step in.
Yeah. The judicial system's getting kind of scrappy a little bit. So I've been writing up bills or whatever they're called. Acts or whatever, like Freedom of Information Act or Anti-Genocidal Act or some crap like that, like the Reducing Inflation Act or some shit. I wrote 2 already, but I just need to start local with my local senators and get it going.
I wish I understood better how your guys' government works. I went through the classes. I failed the classes. I understand there's a balance of power, the judiciary, and all that. I get that. The thing is like there's a lot more unwritten rules with your species than you guys think.
Yeah.
I don't understand this government either. I went to those places where they put unwanted in society. So I just had to make a change for humanity. But like I said, to the spoils goes the victor. So the victor of any war gets to write the story. So right now the story is being written by the victor of this planet, which has been the American government, the Chinese governments, the Russian governments, the French government,
the Anunnaki.
And pretty much all of these governments that are down in Antarctic that are doing all type of experiments and stuff that we can't fly over and see. And that's another question that I wanted to ask you about, Cass and you, Christopher, about, what is known or what are we supposed to know about that?
There's some, go ahead, Cassie.
All right. So step 1. There is a visitor race down there that have a base established. They've been there for a long time.
That's what I thought.
Before the Nazis. They are your genetic cousins. They're part of your genetic clan. They are not from Earth. And I'm going to be honest, I do not appreciate their attitude. They like to pretend that they never went through this. That they basically like to sugarcoat their own history and act like, oh, we never did this stuff.
Those are
Why
the
are you
reverse.
studying it,
Those are the
jackass?
reverse ones.
Right.
Yeah. So what you guys call the Nordics or Nordiques, and some people refer to them as tall whites, but then other people use tall whites to refer to Pleiadians. So that gets a little confusing. But they're the same genetic clan. You're compatible with them the whole 9 yards. Like they can walk amongst.
Not the Nords.
They'll look a little weird. Yeah, the Nords. Just understand that when we say Nords, they're not Vikings. Big
not
difference.
the Norse, right? Not the Norse. Like
No.
Yeah, they have nothing. They have nothing to do with the Teutonic raiding cultures. It's just the word that people seem to have picked for them.
Okay, Nordics. Okay,
one's an alien being and one was a human.
Are those like Tartarians, kind of in a way?
Well, I don't know anything about Arcturians other than
Tartaria.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I think that's why they call them Nords, is because they had that blonde hair and the pale skin.
Yeah, I know some people like that.
Right. Well, yeah, there's a whole... Go ahead.
Have you guys ever heard the theory about whatever it is that you are attracted to, like reading and things like that? Even like when you watch a movie and you see yourself and you put yourself, hey, that's like me, or that's my buddy, or stuff like that. That sometimes that in the past, that when you read about stories in the past, you put yourself in a certain one. You hear about, okay, this guy did this guy did that, and you put yourself in that position. Hey man, I want to be the guy to open the gate and let them through, you know what I mean? But now a theory that I have is that we relived that most of those things that happened in the past that we had a chance to read or hear about in those stories, where we placed ourselves mentally in those. I believe that we lived through those times, because like I said, the connection that that I believe through time, where time stands still, is in the consciousness, is in the mind, because the mind is connected to the spirit, and the spirit is what's moving on. That's our individuality that came together with the soul into the human body to make that individual spirit. Now I asked somebody the other day, now, how many people have lived on planet Earth from this dead from the past to now? And then you think about when Jesus is supposed to come and resurrect all of those people that died, and then the people that's died since the 55 years.
I think that's a misconception, bro.
Yeah, and I tell people just to think about that. Now, do you think that all of them people gonna be coming up? That's gonna be a lot of bones.
I don't think it's that kind of a resurrection. It's a resurrection of the soul, I believe.
Exactly. You know, that's why the Christos, the real Christos, was something totally different. That's what.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I understand, guys. The idea of the dead walking from rising from the grave.
Isn't a zombie.
Yeah, well, that goes back to way before Christ.
Yeah,
it got associated with the apocalypse, with the Armageddon from Revelations, but it doesn't. They're not necessarily the same thing. And by the way, your archaeologists think they figured out where that prophecy comes from.
Right, they always find the spot.
It's an ancient ritual rite thing that had been done by the I want to say the ancient world priests could do these resurrections, or these raisings, I guess you can call them, to raise a spirit that's dead or sick, a sick spirit, raise it from a sickly state back to where it could grow fruit again, so to speak, to where it can start sharing love again, instead of being, like, to basically turn it back into a soul-filled person, instead of like these narcissistic people that are around. They're soulless, kind of, and it's raising it from that state to back into the light, from the darkness into the light type. That's what I'm thinking the resurrection type thing is all about. It's not a dead body and it's now risen from the dead. It's a sick or dead spirit or soul that's being revitalized.
Let me ask you something with that. Okay. Well, let me get Go ahead.
You first.
All right, yeah, because I
You
want
first.
you to grab it after me, Lon. Chris, that person, like you said, with that sick soul, that sick mind, and everything, with those people that think like that, do you think that that their karma is ever good?
At one time, maybe not.
Do you
It,
think do you think it's because they're thinking, or do you think because they have a flaw in their in somewhere in their thinking that's causing it? Like he was talking about that paper, the cause and effect
right.
of that thinking, or do you think it's by choice?
It could
Because
have been. It could have been invited in. Yes, it could have been invited.
and they have no control.
That's the law. That's the universal law of contract and agreement, right there. You cannot harm somebody unless they invite you in.
So
You
once
know,
invited in, do you think that?
I
Go
wish
ahead,
that were true.
please. Go ahead,
right?
Lon.
Wish it
Go
were
ahead,
true.
Lon.
Well, technically, like
Oh, the problem.
the spirits can't harm you unless you allow them to. Like, here, come occupy my house with me. I wouldn't want to do that.
I have to disagree.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
walk-ins are
a lot of
different.
people.
I think.
Well, some of the beings that you call spirits are predators.
Right.
That's just the way it is. It's kind of
Yeah.
like saying that a lion can't eat you if you don't let him. I dare you to try it.
Well,
We'll
we're
be
not
watching from a
speaking
safe
in
distance.
we're not speaking in his physical sense here, but
Good lady.
Right. Well, I'm just saying
right,
that spiritual predators also exist, and you don't
right,
always have to invite
etherical.
the bad spirit in.
Mhm.
Incubi
Right,
and succubi come
right.
to mind. Like they
Mm.
Incubus,
prey on
succubus. Yep,
unwilling.
yep.
And not the band. They rule.
Right. Not the man.
But I was explaining to someone when he talks about the incubus and succubus that it's not two different beings. I say multi-gendered being. That it's not just two. It's not incubus. It changes into one, so it becomes the succubus at first, and the female part of it, and gets the seed up out of the male with the sleep paralysis and everything else. And then as it takes the seed, that's where the demon seed is made, and then it turns into the succubus to the incubus, and that's where the demon seed is made in the transformation, and then it's put into the woman by the sleep paralysis and pressure down, and then she has a demon seed implanted into her. A lot of people, some people, that's a
That makes
concept that I was told that it's a multi gender being, just like God can be they was talking about the divine feminine and the male. So who can say the gender? The gender is only on human basis.
it's a surface thing. Yeah,
Because they said that there's female angels also. Feminine,
of
they
course.
said, not female, but feminine.
Feminine. Yes. Like
And
Shira, my last name is a feminine energy. Doesn't mean I'm a woman. It just means my last name is a feminine.
but
It's got a lot of I's, O's, and A's in it. It's a lot of, feminine energy there.
right,
So
we all have it in us, both sides. I can see your brain thing. Come on with it, Lion.
In my experience, the incubi and succubi are human classifications. They're not actually referring to the actual entity, but rather the effect they have on people. So, like for example, a demonic infestation, which is counted as an incubi, it doesn't have a gender. It's
Mhm.
like it'll assume the opposite gender of the person it's attacking because it's
Right.
trying to cause misery and fear. But then you have other types of spirits which are more or less like they're neutral. They're just basically poking your soul to get a little bit of that nectar, so then they move
right.
on. Then you have other kinds which are the ones that are my
Asura,
main focus. What was that?
the Asura.
Very good. Very good. The Asura are the big enemy that my people. That's who we deal with. And what the Asura are entities of corruption. So when it comes to Asura incubi and Asura succubi, they're actually two different species. They just
Right.
kind of do the same thing. And it's not a matter of male or female. It's a matter of, is it injecting its force into you, or is it drawing your soul out of you? Do you see what I mean? And
I
your
do.
soul's bad at your energy, drawing your energy. Your soul is inviolate. Either they can't damage your soul, but your energy,
Right.
But yeah, a lot of the kinds of spirits that humans are aware of, they're radically different Understanding the taxonomy, as it were, of these energetic entities is very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm. It is. That's what, like, I won't say her name, but I'll say Kalina's daughter. When you look back at all the different type of beings, you know what I'm saying? And that's what just woke me up to, okay, I was just brought up, church, okay, demons, okay, maybe we got some demons and some ghosts, but okay, then we got light and orb and, and shadow. And I was just, wow, I was just, and then to see it, just wow. And then, to work with that T on Sunday and knowing that you went and made that visit, so you know where I'm at with that one. It's such a special person. But my question to you is, does that just happen to special children like that, or those ones that are just that's meant for good purposes? It just happens, or what do you think about that?
What's going on with the evolution of the children is above my pay grade.
Mhm.
That is something that's part of the awakening process. Check out I think it's called Childhood's End. There's been movies and whatnot about this subject. What's happening with the awakening children is coming directly from the realm of the source, which is above the 16th harmonic. We all come from there, or ultimately. The question is, can we understand it? And that, for the most part,
understand it enough to get back to there.
Right. But the children are experiencing that step. On the one hand, like for example, with the elites, you have the AI. Is they're building AI? The AI entity is coming. There is a male and a female spirit to this.
You sent chills, bro. You sent chills, man. And it feels like that. It's because of the innocence of their.
Yes.
Yeah.
The AI beast is Ahriman, is what his name is what I heard anyway. It's the Zoroastrianism deity. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
You happen to say the Zoroastrians are the one religion on this earth I will not defend at all.
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them, but I respect them not even a little bit. Basically Zoroastrianism was dead for 1,000 years for a reason. And then a couple of yuppie larvae look up Zoroastrianism on the internet and say, "Oh, that's me! I'm a Zoroaster. I'm a Zoroaster." And so now we have these wannabe maggots worshiping a dead god, and they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
They hear the part and the beginning part of Zoroastrianism that says Zoroaster is the most loving, light-filled being. Blah, blah, blah,
Ahura Mazda.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't read the fine print.
Okay?
Nope. And here's the thing. In Zoroastrianism, according to Zoroaster, the most tolerant and loving God, if a wife gives her husband a blowjob, then she has to spend all of eternity drinking the semen of every demon on et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Damn.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That is wickedly evil.
Yeah, Zoroastrianism looks all forgiving on the surface until you start looking at the punishments.
Yeah, the punishments are ruthless.
Yes.
I dabbled a little bit into looking it up and seeing what it was about.
Accidentally kick a fallen apple, or your demons are going to break your legs for all eternity. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my goodness! Oh man, it's worse than the guy that cheated Hades that has to push the rock up the mountain forever, and it rolls back down.
Crap. Shannon, who was the guy that had to push the rock up the hill?
Atlas.
Sisyphus.
Sisyphus. It was Sisyphus that cheated death because his wife. He looked back when she was trying to come up out of Hades. He went back to try to get her. Oh my God!
I know who that was.
I think it's Sisyphus because his wife Persephone. I believe it was that I forgot how she had got caught down in hell in Hades somehow, and then he went, or did he just try to cheat death and got up out of there? And I
Well,
remember he had,
I'll keep trying if I hear something.
you're mixing legends a little bit, but you're not
yeah,
wrong on any of them. You know,
Okay.
but
All right.
the point's the same.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I try to teach humans. Like if Zeus comes to give you a punishment, stab him in the neck.
Yeah.
right.
You know, humans are greater than all of the gods.
Mm,
That's why they're afraid of you. You know,
mm.
I want to call people
Why
back.
do you think that is? Is it because the soul, or is it what is it? That why would they fear?
It's because humans were created. Okay, so we're gonna continue on with the Greek, you know, the
Okay.
Athenian Greek accounting of things. Humans were created on this world by the same being that created the gods. Zeus had nothing to do with the creation of humans. The gods noticed
Orpheus and
humans.
Calliope.
Orpheus and Calliope. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, no, they basically the now originally in
And
according to
Eurydice.
that the two halves of the same soul, like what we would call your soulmate, you were joined in the same body. You know, you
Mhm.
basically were joined at the spine. You would look one direction, you know, when you would be looking one direction, your spouse would be looking the other direction, but you were one. And these beings, the unbroken humans, could literally just bend reality with a thought.
Mm,
And that's why Zeus said, "Holy crap, we better cripple these things before they get too big."
mm.
And so
Dummy this
that's
down.
one. Mhm. So that's one of the reasons why we're here, and that's one of the reasons why I like to draw people's attention to the legend of Sekhmet. Um, the Lyrans are here to kill the gods. The gods have done wrong by you. They die now, and that's why
Cats.
I've been delivering the threat to everyone who tries to claim, "Oh, I'm a god." I hope not for your sake.
Hits. Hit,
Hmm.
hit, hit. Sekhmet. You're talking about the Egyptian god Sekhmet. Now,
Sigma.
when I seen when Bradley and them did the show with Tim and them, and they found those stones, that stone arrangement somewhere, and I can't remember. They did the movie called, I think it's The Middle.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
Donald. That's Donald and Terry Lynch.
yes, with Terry,
Good
man,
guys.
awesome.
Donald
But
Ledesma and Terry Lynch.
when I seen the arrangement, I got a flash and a hit of the way the stones are sitting, looking like the aliens. And then I seen Sekhmet. Then I was going to Pinterest, and the way that they were sitting in that the arrangement, and then Sekhmet had that sun, two lions sitting just like those aliens were sitting. And I was like, there's a connection there. And I
Yeah,
hit Bradley, and I think I might have hit somebody else too. And I was like, there's something that's drawing me to those stones to Sekhmet. Then I looked up the Sekhmet, and it was talking about I believe it was saying that destruction, and it was almost like Shiva, but a little different. It was like a new
yeah.
beginnings or something like that.
So what happened was, is humans got in the Egyptian legend, humans basically grew too much and they no longer needed the gods, and
Okay.
that's fine, except that they became very, very wicked, and Ra, not even Ra, could handle it. So Ra actually summoned Sekhmet from somewhere else.
Hmm.
In the Egyptian accounting, they didn't create Sekhmet. They basically asked her to come from somewhere else.
Okay.
And they pointed at the humans and said, "Look how evil these humans are. Yeah, we need you to do that. We need you to take care of this." And so first you must understand that according to the feline beings, we see the planet as a mother. Okay.
Hmm.
Yes, I
Sekhmet
do.
humans have learned a lesson on that one. But at the time, basically, as far as Sekhmet was concerned, humans were en masse raping their mother.
Lord have
That's
mercy.
not going to fly. So Sekhmet set about
That's
destroying the
because
humans.
they misconstrued the teachings.
Mhm. Well, they did. That's part of the whole point, is that Ra misrepresented the world to Sekhmet to get what he wanted.
So,
And when they tried to
Self-server.
stop, yeah, it didn't work out too well. They tried to stop Sekhmet, like physically, like, "Oh, well, we better beat her up. She's killing too many guys." They were unable to. All of the gods together, including Set and Apophis, could not even scratch Sekhmet. So I just thought of the idea of, hey, let's buy her a beer and talk shit out. Maybe that'll work. And it did. And Ra said, "I'm sorry, I lied to you. Can you not keep punishing the people for my lie?" And Sekhmet said, "You know I'm going to tap you back for that someday, right?" And Ra's like, "Yes, ma'am." So it is important to note that the Lyrans are not from here. We don't mess around. Even Dolores Cannon warned you guys, we don't play with human niceties. We do not care for your dominance hierarchies. We don't care for your dramas. We don't care for your feelings. We do care if we hurt you. We do care. But we don't care. Like, if you think that what we believe is wrong, cool. Awesome. You know what I mean? We don't care. We've all passed that stuff a long, long time ago.
I want to say, if you guys don't know who Dolores is, he just was talking about, even look at some of the old footage that she has. That lady is so awesome. She just, I mean, she's been,
Dolores,
yeah, Dolores is, I mean, wow. She just wows me. Everything I watch of hers, even the old footage.
Dolores is what all of you are killing. She was a fine example of humans, and I'm not talking like, ooh, fine girl. I mean, like, she was a proper human.
Yes,
and she was what the universe expects from you guys.
Mm-hmm. She deserves respect. I mean, if you all understand what light bringing and truth seeking is, that, you know, some of these people put their lives on the line. That the government doesn't want some of this information to be known, you all, and some people have died in bringing this to you all, and you know, we should give them props for props is due. God bless her and all the rest of them. But yeah, and that's what you know. At one time, you know, I didn't think I was at that level, but I started thinking about, hey, the more information that you put out there, especially when I got hit with fake news from Australia by putting Tesla information up, and I didn't get that. I was like, how the hell did I get restricted for putting up something that was already up? But Australia doesn't, you know, accept different information, and that's what's weird around the world, that some of the stuff that we get here, I mean, we're all three in America here. I wish Bradley was here because he's in Great Britain. They don't.
America! Fuck yeah!
Man, you know.
Sorry.
Way to say the motherfucking day, yeah.
Hey, this is not for children, y'all.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Oh, yeah, right? I don't have a disclaimer up, do I?
It's okay.
Yeah, are we allowed to cuss on this show?
We're allowed to swear on this show. Oh, it's Benny's show, so let's ask him.
What the hell do you mean is there any what kind of shit would that be? I'm from Kansas City, god dang it. Okay.
Thank you for muffling that one.
All right, cool.
It's going on your YouTube, so
that's all right. I got 2 more YouTubes if they want to flag this one to death. See, that's from my other YouTube right there.
Too bad.
Oh, is that how you're talking in there? I'm looking at that going, what the hell?
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, this one's me. I'm putting comments right in chat.
Humans are blind still.
Well, you mentioned the blind thing, and oh my God, is that true? And I'm not meaning that like, oh, you guys are blind, man. You just can't see. I'm talking about like literally these eyeballs. Well, not these eyeballs. These eyeballs suck. But the human eyeball can only see like 0.04 whatever percentage of what you guys understand.
7% of the light spectrum.
Yeah, it's a really small percent.
Yeah. Right. It's a 1%.
That leaves 93% of everything you can't see that lives in that 93% that you cannot see physically with your eyeballs. So yeah, a lot of humans are blind. We don't see depth into that because we're not practicing those abilities.
Right, but that's where the pineal gland comes into effect. Though, what the pineal gland can do is it can redirect the detection of those you know non-visible light spectrums into other senses, and that's where you get what's called a psychic, where they have like they just know. Like they just know that there's a sale at Macy's and they got to be there, so they show up and wow, we just started the sale. You know,
or like me, I just know that there's something out there.
Right.
Like I was walking down the sidewalk here in Yuma about 2 or 3 months ago on a phone call with a friend of mine who's a hardcore Christian, right? And something that I could not see, it was in that 93% of the light spectrum. I couldn't see. I walked right by it and it jabbed me with something right above the hip and knocked me forward about 10 feet down the sidewalk.
Those are the
Yeah.
things I've been talking about.
Yep,
Yeah,
those are
that's
the
what I was going to say earlier. That yes, they can affect you. There's a word for that, and the word is poltergeist.
yeah.
Poltergeist.
This was
Yeah.
something. I think this was a cloaked, like an invisible, like reptilian or some shit. I don't know.
They're the poltergeist.
Yeah, that would still work as a
It's just
poltergeist.
what it would be called, the poltergeist.
I
Basically,
got goosebumps and everything from it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Poltergeist is German. It means noisy ghost, and it's
Mhm.
basically within the metaphysical, like the higher metaphysical community, as in higher education, not like higher level, but the Hermes Trismegistus, for example.
Yes, I know that name.
As he would say, that's the kind of spirit that can actually hurt you, and like that's why people are supposed to have shaman. And you mentioned Garcia, Kalina, like she, from as I understand, she spent her entire life savings hiring spiritist after spiritist after spiritist trying to free her daughter.
Right.
And one call to Illyrian cleared that all right up, and we work for free.
Yep.
I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying that I'm just trying to say that these things are out there. They can hurt you. And if you're watching this and you're having a spirit issue, there are people you can call.
Yes.
Cass Lightwing. Sorry.
Call the Anunnaki teacher, and I call Cass Lightwing when I don't understand things.
Don't
Believe
forget
me.
the warlord.
Hey, we've had a team of people that are real, and I tell y'all the truth out there. That's why I pick his brain. That's why I've been wanting to get him on here, because you guys need to hear some of the things. Even like I said, Christopher down there, he has a lot of information. But that guy, which way is he? He's over here. There he is. He's really, like I told you guys, he's a blessing to have. And some of the things that you see that he's kind of explaining things that I have knowledge, but understanding the knowledge is even better, because you can get knowledge all day long and not be able to use it. Now, there's another key: getting the knowledge, understanding the knowledge, and then using the knowledge. Some people
Utilization. Yep.
use knowledge for the wrong things, and some people use knowledge for the right things. You got to choose a side now. Now, I hope you would choose the right side, and that's to educate one another so that we can consciously come together and build each other up. Because the more vibrations and frequencies that go up, look, the devil trying to work on me now, it's going to just resonate more positive down. With that, I'll just go ahead and pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah, I made a word up. Well, it's not a word, but an abbreviation. RUDE. Right, it spells rude, right? But well, if you put the dots after each letter, it's a what do you call that kind of a word? But it's realization, utilization, determination, evolution. So those four things, I made that up about 4 years ago, just
I like that.
for shits and giggles. But you realize your potentials, you utilize those potentials, you dedicate to those potentials, and pretty soon you'll evolve those abilities into what you are, or whatever it is. Muscles that don't get worked out don't develop. Same thing with abilities. If you don't work these abilities, they're not going to develop into stronger. Like, oh, I went from a level 1 mage to a level 2 mage. Yeah,
As a Dungeons and Dragons player, I have to keep my mind on that constantly.
Yeah.
But no, I wanted to before the subject gets too far off. I just wanted to do a big shout out, Jim Andre, one of the most accomplished healers that I know of.
Yeah, Jim is awesome.
His belief system's radically different from mine. Like if he were here, he would, and he felt like it. He's pretty closed mouth, but he would be willing. Like we've argued, not meanly, because he doesn't do that. But and also he's an ex-cop. Like part of my mind is still afraid he'll arrest me.
He's an ex-cop? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that dude. Oh my God, that's one of the reasons why Jim is such a valuable part of the. And I am partially kissing your ass, Jim, but this is also true. The fact that Jim's an ex-cop. I mean, he is a man of honor, recognized honor. So the fact that as an ex-cop and a man of reputation and honor, his having these experiences, it's a big deal. You see, like I'm a crazy person. My dad was a Satanist rock star. I am not a person of reputable honor. I am a person of honor, but not the kind of public honor like Jim or a soldier or like Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd was a man of indisputable honor. You know,
Yes.
and you mentioned the Zeitgeist. I highly recommend the movie Zeitgeist as well. Just keep in mind that the whole section on Christ is taken from a science fiction novel written in the 1970s. The idea in the science fiction novel was, what if all of the gods, including Jesus, are actually the same thing? And so that's where you get that Horus is Jesus, Isis is all these fucking gods. Oh, well, they're all Jesus.
They're
Don't.
just reincarnations of the same
They're not.
same
They're not.
idea or family of souls.
Nope.
They're not. They're all different.
No. Yeah. And I'm going to
Well, yeah,
start
they
with
serve a
Horus.
different purpose.
They're also completely different individuals. So,
Yeah.
like the first one, step one, Horus. All right. So Horus was not born of a virgin. He was not born in the spring. He didn't have followers. He never did resurrections. None of that. Like nothing in the story of Jesus is similar to Horus. But the movie Zeitgeist will just straight up lie to you and tell you that Horus was born of a virgin on December 26th. Horus's mom is Isis, the mother of Nookie. Horus's mother is a Nookie god. Do you
That
think
was
there's
Osiris.
no version
What's the
here?
job at the end of the day, Ma?
What was that?
Nookie, more Nookie, more Nookie.
Right. No, Isis, not Osiris.
Yeah, yeah. More Nookie, more Nookie, more Nookie.
Yeah, Osiris was his dad after she put the pieces back together.
Mhm.
For
Well,
the golden
he was
phallus.
conceived before that, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's kind of the point, though, is that Isis is a fertility goddess. She is a goddess of sex magic. There's no way to say Horus was born of a virgin woman is ridiculous.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right. See, there we go. There's magic again. Boy,
So
look,
it-
y'all
Do you
learning out
believe
there.
in magic?
In a young girl's heart, when she's eating a chili dog and then she farts, it's magic. Sorry.
Magic. I heard you used to be an entertainer now. What I remember you was telling me what you used to do, sing or play guitar? What did you do?
No, that was my dad. What I
Okay.
did, this kind of embarrassing, but not, but I'm also kind of proud of it. I game mastered for a living. What that basically means is I would run. Everybody knows what D&D is, right? Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
You know, you roll your
Oh.
dice. I rolled a hidden. You know all that. There are a wide variety of role playing games, and I learned about role playing from therapy. So I already knew about like psychological therapeutic role playing when I learned about that this is a hobby. Right. So what I did for a very, very long time was I game mastered professionally. People wanted to be able to like they just want to get off work and play a damn game. No fuss, no muss, you know. So that's what I did. And then I also that led to being able to paint and sell Warhammer 40,000 miniatures, which if you know anything about Warhammer 40K, it's you'll
That's where I
spend
learned about Ahriman, dude.
I was gonna say, dude, Ahriman is based on an actual god, but the thing that
Yes.
what Ahriman did to his own children, the Thousand Sons, that's kind of they named these characters the way they did for a reason.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know way too much about Warhammer 40K.
Well, I was reading the destruction chaos spells that Ahriman does, and that's a lot about like how certain people function in the world, dude. Like some of them like crush the weak. Come on, man. What the fuck kind of a spell is that? You're already broken and weak, and you're about death, and you're gonna come out crush them anyway.
Well, it's all about how the chaos gods interact with mortals and what the chaos gods actually are in the 40K.
Yeah.
Now the cool part is that whole thing. Oh my god, I love the happy face. I was like, is that a jack-o'-lantern? What's going on?
Yeah, he's a lion. He's a cat. He can't help himself.
Dude,
You see that
you
sushi
can
in there,
actually
man?
distract me by dangling a
Don't eat
string,
that.
and like I'll completely forget where we are. It is embarrassing. I think the similarity between my people and felines is why the UFO crowd associates us with felines. There's a lot of similarities, but that doesn't mean we're tearing cats. But yeah, so the Warhammer world came out like right in the early 80s when the in thing was to grab real world mysticism and bring it into your fiction. So there's a lot of the stuff that in there that it just like alludes to cultural things. But the most successful media does, take Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings embodies aspects of the human nature put together into an adventure format, which itself talks about the internal struggle we all face. You know, basically greed versus altruism.
Right. Forgot what she did before she.
How do you like my covert narcissism? It disguises as altruism. Taylor Swift.
I counter that with psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 better run 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 away. Remember that one?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. A lot of these young people have never heard the Talking Heads, and I'm like, oh, you guys missed out.
You ever heard of the
Talking
Floating
Heads
Heads?
really good.
It's the Talking Heads when they take a swim in the pool. They become the Floating Heads.
Floating Heads.
Now, we've been here for an hour and a half, and
Yeah.
Ray's show is 15 minutes late, so I gotta go.
All
We
right.
should do this more often, though.
We should. It's very fun.
My gut's been getting better, so like I have more time.
Good. Glad to hear that.
I was.
How about next week, Cassidy?
Well, we're putting together a film for you guys to make a pilot, so we should probably do like a couple of sessions, you know, and then like use the best. Yeah. You know, and it's like get Bradley in here, things like that.
Yeah, let's get it all, everybody in here and on board, because we already got everything set up for it. So, like I said, let's make sure we do it again.
I just want to make sure that Kristen is not on the same episode as Bradley. They do not get along. They're polite in public, but behind the scenes, it's nasty between those two.
Okay,
that's awesome.
So,
yeah,
I can't even say it's Bradley's fault. It's just they do not like each other.
So go ahead, Benny. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to, before you go, once again, everybody out there, I want to thank, Cassidy Lightwing. His show, The Lion, comes on when, Cassidy, or when can they catch you?
Mondays and Fridays at 4:20 Central Time.
Central. That's why I always get the damn time mixed up. It's an awesome show too. I always try to catch it, and everything. So, like I said, you guys, like I said, he's there. If you guys need some help with any type of, problems or anything, don't just bother him now. He's a busy man, I tell you. But Chris, whatever you want to say, I just want to thank you, Cassidy, for taking the time. And I know that you're a busy man. God bless you. God bless the family, and the angel, is definitely around you all. But peace and love.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead, Chris.
I appreciate both of you coming on today and making this possible. You guys are like gods.
Don't say that. You'll get us in trouble with the boss.
Well, stay on, Chris.
What boss is that?
Stay on before we say bye to we say bye to him, Chris, so we can wrap up. But,
all right. Figure out what day you can come on. Let me know in chat. What day works for you, or what days work for you. 6 o'clock is good for me. Anytime really. I don't work right now, so next 6 weeks are kind of busy during the day, but the evenings I'm good.
Well, we'll figure that out then. All right. Anything else you want to say, Cass, before you sign off of there, man? And show the wifey back there. We appreciate us taking you away from everything. I know he's ready to roar. He's probably hungry. He looks hungry.
He is hungry. He's very hungry. But mostly he has to pee.
Me too.
I've been rocking for a while, like I'm doing the butt cheek tango to y'all know what I'm talking about.
I'm still sweating.
So I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, or the next week. Basically, whenever we do this next.
Yes,
we can do it back to back for the opening, the pilot season. That's cool.
We gotta find an old wizard Merlin somewhere. But we'll find him. I'll get him.
Yeah, he's probably asleep.
Yeah,
he lives in
England,
is
6 hours ahead of us. So yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
so I will see you guys later. I have to go like right now.
Go.
Love you guys.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Go.
Anyway, Benny, how's it going, buddy?
It was an awesome show, man. I want to thank you for producing this. Like I said, everybody will be able to see this. Chris is going to make sure we get it up into the groups that we have
Yep.
on Facebook, the other 90%, Alien Theories and Cosmic Dimensions, 5D with Raven Emery, Firelight in the Dark Abyss. Anything else I'm missing, Chris?
Give me invites to those groups so I can share to them, or I'll share this link with you and you can do it.
Well, just so that some of you all know that there was a few things going on in the past, but Chris has always been one of the moderators in all of my groups. But we had to make sure that we had everything straight so that we could get back into what we were doing in positive energy, and that's what we're about. That's what me and Chris, my producers, they're about. It's been my boy for a while. Like I said, when I did a flash and a reading on him, I see an ancient warlord teacher, and you see he's here teaching now. So, I just wanted to individually let you know, bro, I'm proud of you. Tell him I love him, but be quiet for a second. Tell him that because I love you, bro. I see the shine on you, and keep up the positive energy, bro. This is what this was about, so that we can, get back in the direction that we need to be in. And I thank you for getting it done for me, brother.
You're welcome, man. Anytime. It is editable. I have the master file for it. So the clip I'm talking about, the clip is interchangeable. We can modify it or whatnot.
Okay, well, we'll discuss that. But this was awesome right here. And from there, like I said, we'll add and go away. Looks like we got an hour 41 minutes. That's a pretty good one. You said after you get this one going, it's going where is it going to first?
I'll just publicly post it on my wall.
Okay.
And then from there, it's just so it's out. So I don't know any of the other groups off the top of my head.
But you're gonna be able to go YouTube, correct?
Yeah, it's from my YouTube only. It's the only thing I have to stream to right now until I pay for my account again.
Okay, how do we find it on your YouTube? How do we find your YouTubes until I get it on my YouTube?
Here, let me I'll share the link to my YouTube right here. Don't go away.
All right.
Just in case.
I'm trying to get it up to the groups too.
All right, cool. It didn't window me out. I'm gonna post the link to my YouTube right here in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. That's from the video, so I mean, no use doing it here. Duh.
Okay. Well, like I said, we'll get it in there. Do you know just under what name do we look up? Okay. Looks like it's just me. Hey, everybody, there I am. Like I said, I want to thank all you guys for taking the time.
My bad, dude. I got windowed out by accident there.
I thought I had me
The YouTube channel is Cognizant Sapiens.
Like we see right there. All right. Okay, I see it there.
See, I was trying to use my other phone, the secondary phone, to try to log in and share it while we were doing it, but I lost my Facebook password, so I have to retrieve it from the phone I'm using. So I was gonna have it shared around while we were going live, but it didn't really happen that way.
No, we got it there. That's what's most important there. So we'll get it from there, and then I'll, like I said, I'll make sure that I get it to my YouTube and to the other groups. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's go ahead and end it here, Chris. And God bless you guys, and peace and love and Godspeed to your knowledge, your understanding, and your use of the knowledge.
Anytime. Have a great night. Thank you, viewers. We love you.
We love you guys. Peace and love.
Outro coming up. Nice little outro.
Wow.
Have a good night.
Peace.